Hi students, today we are going to discuss a new topic, conversion of oxide ore to crude metal. Conversion of oxide ore to crude metal can be done by three ways. One is thermal reduction. The second one is hydrometallurgy. The third one is electrolytic reduction. So we have three ways to get the crude metal from oxides: thermal reduction, hydrometallurgy, and electrolytic reduction. Let me discuss. Thermal reduction. What is meant by thermal reduction? In this method, we are subjected to heat oxide ore in the presence of reducing agent. Oxide ore subjected to heat in the presence of a reducing agent. That's why we are calling thermal reduction. This thermal reduction, we have another name, that is pyrometallurgy. Thermal reduction nothing but pyrometallurgy. Pyro means heat. So what are the steps here we have means? Before going to that, we have to discuss what is meant by thermal reduction. The process of attraction, the process of extraction of metal by heating oxide ore with a suitable reducing agent. Is called thermal reduction or pyrometallurgy. So we have to heat and we have to add a suitable reducing agent. Generally, what are the reducing agents we are using here means reducing agents like carbon monoxide, any other metals like sodium, magnesium, aluminum, etc. Means metal should be more electropositive. So more electropositive metals act as good reducing agents. We learned already. 1A group elements and 2A group elements are better reducing agents. So these we are using. If we are heating oxide ore above the melting point of the metal, that we are calling smelting. So pyrometallurgy process, we have smelting process. What is meant by smelting? The process of extraction the process of extraction of metal by heating oxide ore with a reducing agent above the melting point of metal is called smelting. This smelting process takes place, or we are conducting smelting process in blast furnace. So smelting process done in blast furnace. Let me discuss few reduction methods. So here we have a metal oxide with a reducing agent giving rise to, we are getting metal plus carbon monoxide. When a metal oxide is subjected to reduce in the presence of carbon as a reducing agent, we are getting metal and carbon monoxide. Means reducing agent get oxidized to carbon monoxide, metal oxide get reduced to metal, and this is the metal we are getting. We are taking metal oxide. This is the reduction process. Let me take few examples. Reduction with carbon or carbon monoxide. Reduction with carbon or carbon monoxide. What type of metal oxides we are doing means zinc oxide, iron oxide, and similarly chromium oxide. Like these oxides are subjected to reduce in the presence of carbon and carbon monoxide. Or we have tin oxides also. Tin oxide. Simple oxide we have tin oxide. SN wood. Let I am taking the first iron oxide. When iron oxide is subjected to reduce in the presence of carbon, metal oxide reduces to metal. Reducing agent itself get oxidized to carbon monoxide. If you are taking carbon, you are getting carbon monoxide. If you are taking carbon monoxide, that oxidizes to carbon dioxide. And go for one more example. I am taking zinc oxide. If zinc oxide subjected to reduce in the presence of carbon monoxide, zinc oxide is a metal oxide. It is reduced to zinc. Carbon monoxide is a reducing agent. Get oxidized. This is the process we have here. So like this, we can reduce iron oxide, zinc oxide or tin oxide in the presence of carbon or carbon monoxide. Let me discuss few more examples how reduction will be takes place by thermal reduction. And here I am taking few more reducing agents. Reduction with sodium or magnesium or calcium. Reduction with sodium or magnesium or calcium. Sodium, magnesium, calcium are electropositive elements. Generally, metal halides are reduced. Metal halides are reduced by this method. For example, I am taking titanium tetrachloride. I am reducing with sodium. I am reducing with sodium metal. When sodium acts as a reducing agent, it will be reduce titanium chloride to titanium metal and sodium oxidized to sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So, for sodium chloride and for sodium. And go for another example. Here I am taking vanadium tetrachloride. It is subjected to reduce with magnesium. Magnesium is a reducing agent. And this halide reduced to metal. And magnesium is a reducing agent, is oxidized to magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride. And here 2 magnesium chloride and this is 2 magnesium. So sodium, magnesium or calcium are used to reduce metal halides. Next, reduction with water gas. Reduction with water gas. Water gas. You know everybody water gas. Water gas is a good reducing agent. It is a mixture of hydrogen plus carbon monoxide. Hydrogen and carbon monoxide. And in water gas, hydrogen is a reducing agent, carbon monoxide also reducing agent. Both act as a reducing agents. And here I am taking example as nickel oxide. Nickel oxide. I am using water gas as a reducing agent. I told both act as a reducing agent. First, hydrogen act as reducing agent. It form water. Carbon monoxide act as a reducing agent. It form carbon dioxide. And metal oxide reduced to metal. Metal oxide reduced to metal. Nickel oxide reduced to nickel. Like this you are getting nickel, water, carbon dioxide. So here both are acting as reducing agent. This is reduction with water gas. Let me go for reduction with hydrogen. Reduction with hydrogen. You know very well hydrogen is a reducing agent. Here I am reducing copper oxide as well as nickel oxide. You go for nickel oxide as example. Nickel oxide when treated with hydrogen, hydrogen get oxidized to water because that is reducing agent. Nickel oxide is a metal oxide reduced to respective metal. Like this. And you go for Cu2O, copper oxide, and it is reduced in the presence of hydrogen. And you know metal oxide reduced to metal, hydrogen get oxidized to water. A reducing agent always get oxidized to water. This is the method how reduction will be takes place. Next, few more methods we are going to be discuss. Next, reduction with aluminum. It is very important we are discussing. Reduction with aluminum. Aluminum is a good reducing agent. Reduction with aluminum. Reduction with aluminum. So aluminum is a good reducing agent. Good reducing agent. So when aluminum used as a reducing agent, this process we are calling aluminothermy. Aluminothermy. When aluminum used as a reducing agent, that is we are calling aluminothermy. Aluminum powder we are using as reducing agent. The process of reducing metal oxide to metal in the presence of aluminum powder is called aluminothermy. In this method, we are reducing iron oxide or chromium oxide or manganese oxide. Manganese oxide. These are reduced. Any other oxide also we can reduce. Let I am taking an example here, iron oxide. Iron oxide. Iron oxide get reduced in the presence of aluminum. So iron oxide is going to be reduced to iron. A reducing agent get oxidized. Aluminum oxidized to Al2O3. Al2O3. So we have to balance this. And similarly, I am taking chromium oxide. When chromium oxide is subjected to reduce in the presence of aluminum, metal oxide always reduced to respective metal. The reducing agent always oxidized to respective oxide. Aluminum oxide. And you go further. I am taking manganese oxide. Mn3O4. It is reduced with aluminum. Manganese is oxide, it is reduced to metal, and aluminum very well, that is reducing agent, that will be oxidized as Al2O3. This is the process how aluminothermy will be takes place. And here we have iron oxide is going to be reduced in the presence of aluminum to iron and aluminum oxide. It is highly exothermic reaction. That's why iron we are getting here in molten state. Iron here we are getting in molten state. Highly exothermic reaction means heat energy going to be evolved. That's why iron you are getting as in molten state. So conversion of iron oxide in the presence of aluminum powder to iron is called as a Goldsmith aluminothermic process. What we are calling Goldsmith aluminothermic process, or simply Goldsmith thermic process. Goldsmith thermic process. Goldsmith thermic or thermite process. Here, why the word we are using thermite means mixture of Al2 Al2O3 plus iron. Al2O3 plus iron. Mixture of Al2O3 plus aluminum is in 3:1 ratio is called thermite. Important for competitive. Remember this. What is meant by thermite? Mixture of Al2O3 Fe2O3 mixture of Fe2O3 plus aluminium in 3:1 ratio is called thermite. That's why we are calling Goldsmith thermite process. Goldsmith thermite process. And what is the use of the thermite means? Thermite we are using in welding process. Welding process. Thermite we are using in welding process. Welding process. That is the use of the thermite. Next. The next one we have hydrometallurgy. Hydrometallurgy. The next method we have hydrometallurgy. So this is we completed. The next one we have hydrometallurgy. Hydrometallurgy. What is hydrometallurgy? Hydrometallurgy nothing but extraction of metal by dissolving the ore in suitable chemical reagent. So ore is dissolving in a chemical reagent. In the presence of more electropositive metal. Ore is subjected to dissolve in a chemical reagent in the presence of more electropositive metal. And what type of metals we are going to be extract here means generally silver, gold, copper, such metals are extracted in hydrometallurgy process. Like I am taking silver extraction. Silver ore Ag2S, silver sulfide. This is we are calling argentite. What we are calling argentite. What I told, ore is subjected to dissolve in a chemical reagent. Here the chemical reagent we can take sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide. And when these two react each other, a complex compound is going to be formed, that is sodium dicyanoargentate. Sodium dicyanoargentate. And a byproduct sodium sulfide is going to be formed. This is we are calling sodium dicyanoargentate. And sodium sulfide byproduct subjected to oxidizing. Sodium sulfide is formed here. This sodium sulfide subjected to oxidizing to sodium sulfate with the help of oxygen and water. This is forming sodium sulfate sodium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. Sodium sulfate is the main product here, and sodium hydroxide, and sulfur is eval. Sulfur is eval. This is where getting here sodium sulfate. So sodium sulfide converted to sodium sulfate is oxidation. And the next main process we have this complex compound sodium dicyanoargentate. Sodium dicyanoargentate is subjected to treat with electropositive metal. Electropositive metal. Look here. Bore is dissolving in a chemical reagent. Bore dissolved in a chemical reagent. We got a complex sodium dicyanoargentate. Further, it is treated with electropositive metal. Electropositive metal. Electropositive metal, what we have to take means any high electropositive metal. High electropositive metal. Here I am taking zinc as high electropositive metal. And so many high electropositive metals we have. Why particularly zinc only means it is highly electropositive, moreover cheap. It is cheaper than even copper also. That's why I selected zinc. Then I am getting sodium tetracyanozincate. Sodium tetracyanozincate. Sodium tetracyanozincate. Sodium tetracyanozincate. And silver is going to be extracted. Silver going to be extracted. This is we extract the silver. This is we are calling sodium tetracyanozincate. Like this. By hydrometallurgy, we can extract silver, gold, or coppers. This is very important method. You have to remember for competitives. Next, electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic reduction. Third method we have electrolytic reduction. This reduction we know in our schooling level as well as in first PUC. So second one completed. The third one electrolytic reduction. So I am taking third one electrolytic reduction. What is meant by electrolytic reaction? Electrolytic nothing but here we are doing electrolysis. Electrolysis. What we are doing? Electrolysis. By doing electrolysis, we can get the respective method. And I am explaining few. Extraction of sodium. I am extracting sodium metal. To extract sodium metal, we have two methods. That is Downs process and Castner process. Castner's process. So many methods we have, but here by electrolytic method I am explaining. First one, Downs process. Downs process. What is meant by Downs process? Here, sodium chloride subjected to electrolysis means passing a electrical current. We are getting Na plus and Cl minus. Actually, NaCl melting point is very high. that is nearly 800 degrees Celsius. It is not that much easy to melt it. That's why to reduce the melting point, we are adding a chemical reagent CaCl2 or KCl or KF. Anyone we can add. Then melting point going to be reduced. This sodium attracted by the cathode. Sodium attracted by the cathode by taking an electron as sodium metal. Then we are getting the sodium metal. And this chloride ions we have attracted by anode. Attracted by anode. So chloride ions attracted by the anode, and we are getting the chlorine gas by lossing of 2 electrons. Like this we can use. Remember, calcium chloride KCl/KF role is to reduce the melting point and increase the conductivity also. Next one we have Kastner method. Kastner process. So, Kastner process. In Kastner process, we are using NaOH in fused form. NaOH in fused form. This NaOH melting point nearly we have 330 degrees Celsius. When compared sodium chloride, it is a little bit less only. A little bit less. And 4 moles of NaOH going to be electrolyte, and when we pass electrical current, you are getting 4 Na plus 4 OH minus, and at cathode Na plus ions are attracted. Na plus positive, cathode is negative. By taking 4 electrons, and you are getting sodium metal. Similarly, at anode, that is near anode, this OH minus ions are attracted. OH minus ions are attracted. OH minus are negative, anode is positive. Then it forms water and oxygen. Water and oxygen. And by lossing of 4 electrons. So, in Downs process, at cathode sodium metal and at anode chlorine gas. In Kastner method, sodium we are getting at cathode, at anode we are getting oxygen gas. So, by looking this, metal always we are getting at cathode. This you have to remember. Metal can be collected at always cathode. And these are the methods we have to convert oxide ore to crude metal. Crude metal. Okay.